Surprise! You've been bitten by a wolf spider. It's summertime, the wind is blowing, the birds are singing, and you are getting bitten by everything under that bright, beautiful sun. Today we're going to be looking at some of the most common bites that people receive this time of year, and what to do if that's you. Stick around because we are going to be discussing one venomous species at the end of this video. Welcome back to Girl Meets Wild, Wild Chat. I'm Carese Niezgoda, and I hate summer. Okay, that's an overstatement. I don't hate summer, it's just not my favorite season. But for millions of Americans, summer is that girl. Picture this, you're out of town for the weekend on a camping trip with your best friends, and you're getting ready to sleep on that cold, rocky ground. Yay, that sounds so fun. All of a sudden, bang, you roll over on a rock. Or at least you think it's a rock. Surprise! You've been bitten by a wolf spider. Super common and super large. These guys have venom that is not medically significant, aka you're fine. But I know that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. So here's what to do. Gently wash the area with soap and water and apply ice to control swelling. Pop some over-the-counter NSAIDs for any residual pain and you'll be just fine. Don't forget to make your friends delete that inevitable video of you jumping out of your tent in the middle of the night, okay? Because you'll never forget it. Trust me. Doing my hair like this always makes me feel like I'm bald. I promise I'm not bald, okay? I do feel bald though. Let's say you're like me and you spend all of your time in the woods on unmarked trails and scaling questionable boulders. If that's the case, it's not at all uncommon to look down at your perfectly toned legs, by the way, and notice a mole that you haven't seen before. You try and dust it off a few times, but eventually it's apparent that you've become the brand new host of a black-legged tick, aka a deer tick. Now, these ticks are the primary carriers of not only Lyme disease, but many other bacterial infections that you want to take seriously. Simply grab a pair of tweezers and grab onto the tick by the mouth parts. Now, this is really important, as I'm sure you know. You don't want to leave those mouth parts in there. I will say, however, that it's not possible for the mouth parts alone or the head that gets stuck to transmit any sort of disease by itself. You still want to get it out though, because it's no good to have half a tick in you. Pull steadily or gently without twisting or jerking if possible. I know that it's first instinct to kind of want to like grab and like yank it out, but that only makes things more difficult. You don't want to break the tick and you don't want to get any of that infected blood back onto your skin, which is what will happen if you bust or pop the tick. That's a gross visual, I'm sorry, but it's true. Instead, burn or drown the tick rather quickly. I've also heard that you can apply some sort of petroleum jelly to kind of suffocate it in that way. I don't know if that works, so I just stand by the good old tried and true method of a lighter and yeah. The severity of the wound left over depends on how long the tick was attached. Just like what we said before, take some soap and water and rinse it off, but just know it's really important that you see your doctor within the next couple of days and meet that deductible, right? If you start to notice lethargy and headaches or nausea or anything that's just out of the ordinary for you, definitely see your doctor because it could be a sign of Lyme's disease. Lyme disease, just one Lyme. Finally, you're back from your trip and you get to relax, unpack, and settle. You reach for your phone to watch and subscribe to Girl Meets Wild, right? And you see an ant walking across your nightstand. That's odd, you've never seen one before. It's definitely alone. You've just been stung by the infamous fire ant. Now, one thing that you should know about the fire ant, or at least when we use the term fire ant, is that it's not really one species. You see, fire ant is a kind of a coverall term for over 200 species of stinging ant. Now, there are individual species like the red fire ant that you'll see in some parts of the country, but in this case, you were just stung by a run-of-the-mill fire ant. Pain is immediate, and what will start off as kind of an itchy welt like you'd see with other bug bites will eventually turn into a little white pustule. Here are some pictures in case you didn't think it was gross. Rarely life-threatening, your only real danger here is if you are allergic to the sting and experience something called anaphylaxis, which, if you're not familiar, is a severe allergic reaction which can cause swelling in the throat, it can cause large hives, and will eventually cause you to have a medical emergency. It goes without saying that you should definitely seek medical attention if you start to experience any of the symptoms that we just named. Luckily though, most people are not allergic to the sting, and all they need is a little bit of soap and water rinse like we mentioned before, maybe take some ibuprofen or Tylenol, and then apply a little bit of hydrocortisone cream that will take care of the itching. All right, you're fed up. You've been bitten, you've been stung, you've had things attached to you. You're ready to just take the dog on a walk and go to bed. At least you know you're safe in your own backyard, right? I mean, it is in a densely wooded area with stacked firewood and plentiful prey options, rodents and such. Quietly, you step off the back porch stairs, leash in hand, and all of a sudden you feel a quick, sharp pinch in your ankle. It is immediately clear to you that this was not a bug. Trust me, you would know by now. You've had a bad weekend once again. This one, not a bug. You reach down to palpitate the area and see what's going on, only to find yourself eye to eye with a northern copperhead. Those beautiful vertical pupils show you that the snake is just as scared as you are. I mean, you just stepped on his tail and all he was doing was relaxing underneath your front porch steps, which he is entitled to. So what happens now? Will you die immediately and inevitably be found by the same friends that made fun of you earlier? Fortunately for you, death is most likely off the table, unless you're very, very young or very, very old, or like we said before, allergic to the venom. Most people are not. Prior health conditions can worsen the effects of the venom, so your individual case may be different. For your average person, it will look like this. Quick glance with a flashlight will reveal 2 fang marks, or maybe 1, depending on if you got 1 fang or 2. This can also affect how much venom you got. You can expect a warm, burning sensation to begin to creep its way up the bite site, and swelling will also come in now. It may be minor at first, but I promise you it will get worse as time goes on. So don't think that just because I only have a little bit of swelling, I don't need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. This part's important. There's no need to kill or capture the snake. You see, that could actually cause you to be bitten again. And the antivenom that we use most here in the US, which is called crowfap, works for all North American pit vipers. So it really doesn't matter what kind of snake it is, and the doctor won't ask. Please, I am begging you, no suction of any kind. Not from your mouth, not from one of those old like bite kits that they used to sell. I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this, okay? They're not real. They don't work, all right? Your grandfather, who happened to own a cowboy hat, no matter how cool the hat was not a herpetologist. Of course, now you need to head to the hospital. Once you get there, inform them of the bite, and if they don't, you need to insist that they elevate your extremity that was bitten, in this case your ankle, to an absurd degree, even more than you think would be necessary. It's gonna look kind of funny, but it needs to be highly, highly elevated. This is debatable in some circles of herpetologists, but it is generally still considered best practice. Another problem that I hear a lot also is that hospitals will kind of talk you out of antivenom by saying, hey, you know, it's not that bad, it doesn't look that bad. Maybe it was a dry bite, I don't see a ton of swelling, just a little bit. Let's skip on the antivenom and just do like a Tylenol, Advil type deal. Unlike the cases we have covered so far, that is not going to work. Antivenom is the only thing that neutralizes snake venom, okay? So you need it in order to help stop, you know, what the venom is already doing in your body. If there is swelling, there was venom. If there is discoloration, there was venom. Dry bites are real, okay? You could get a dry bite, but it is not super common. It's more likely that you got venom no matter how small. So again, antivenom is the way to go. And if they try to send you home without it and you notice you're having swelling and discoloration and pain, you need to insist on it or go to a different hospital. You may need 1 vial, you may need 10. So get comfortable and check that bank account because it can get pretty pricey. And no, that's not because the hospital is hiking it up or overcharging you, even though they're probably hiking it up and overcharging you. It's mostly because antivenom is difficult to produce. In order to produce 1 vial of antivenom, there is somebody out there who needs to put their life on the line to what's called milk a snake and get maybe even just this much venom. Back to the bite. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but snake bites are my thing. So just stay with me for a minute. If you feel the need to keep snakes that are not indigenous to the US, like gaboon vipers and cobras and other species of pit vipers, I'm not gonna tell you what to keep. There are amazing keepers all over the country who do a great job at this. But if you are going to do it, it's very important that you either own your own antivenom or that you know a friend who is willing to lend it to you in an emergency. because if you are bitten, you will need that life-saving antivenom, and there are lots of facilities all over the country that maybe just can't give it to you because it is really, really hard to make, and if they give it to you, that means their staff cannot use that animal until they replenish the supply. The good news is that with your copperhead bite, you have a great chance at a full recovery. Oh, and who's that that's bringing you flowers? It's your friends from earlier. Now, before we go, I want to just quickly run through some more what I like to call SWI bites. That is soap, water, and ibuprofen. These are super common bites that can be taken care of with just a little bit of soap, water, and ibuprofen. Black garter, or any other non-venomous species of snake. Jumping, cellar, or really any spider that doesn't have medically significant venom. Any kind of stinging caterpillar, wasp, or bee. Yes, they are different things. Remember, I'm just some wildlife girl, okay? I'm not a doctor. And if I was, I wouldn't be here right now. So if you have a bite that you're concerned about, make sure you go and talk to one, especially if it's from a raccoon, skunk, fox, or bat. Because in that case, even if you think it was a small or insignificant bite, you still have a chance of getting rabies, which is a super serious, fast progressing disease. So again, never hesitate to talk to a doctor. I think that's all the legal stuff. Okay, well, thanks for letting me yap, and thanks for watching Girl Meets Wild. If you like this episode, you might want to go and check out our episode where we hung out around a national park and actually caught several copperheads. That way you can see what their temperament is like in real life and decide for yourself if you have anything to worry about, okay? That's it. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, because I need your support to continue making Girl Meets Wild. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.